Well, hello guys, I'm back again, and today we're going to be talking about the patch notes 1.01.3. If you're looking for just the link to the patch notes, I will put it on the description of the video so you can read them if you're just here for that. However, just a little introduction on this. I read everything and I discuss everything. If you're looking for a playlist, I would also put that in the description of the video, and a playlist of all the patch notes just in case you're interested and just seeing how this game is being, I don't want to say fixed. This game needs a lot of fixing. I think, please don't be mad, I think that if I can say that the game needs fixing, it's not me hating the game or wanting it to, like, I want this game to be good, and the game can definitely be better, but saying that this game needs fixing, it's not like, I'm not hating on Nightreign. I'm just a vocal minority saying that the game the game kind of, yeah, the game's, it can be better, you know. And I'm going at this like with, I'm still playing Nightreign. I'm still gonna play Nightreign after this type of mentality. So yeah, let's see the patch notes. Before we begin, just really quick, we're still waiting on 1.02. They tweeted out about 2 weeks ago that they're working on it, and they're giving us these mini patches. That's why this is 0.3, and we're now on the third little patch. So now we're going to be reading, what is this patch about? General balance adjustments. Increase the chance of obtaining weapons with the madness status ailment. That is cool. So far, I usually just play Iron Eye. So the only way I can see like any madness weapons is when the one of the sorcerers, or even myself, they pick up a spell that actually does madness damage, or when you get one of those upgrades from fallen bosses, where it tells you like, oh, when you walk you can emit a cloud of or stars of madness. Those are the only times where I get the, oh, now I'm doing madness damage. So that's really cool. That's really cool that they're putting weapons. Well, it's increasing the chances, so I'm guessing they're not putting the weapons themselves, they're just giving you the chance to obtain them. There have been times where you do clear camp and there's no madness, and you're just like, okay, then cool. I guess with Libra with Libra, we just gotta use Holy or something else, but that's really cool. I haven't seen how he interacts with madness, Libra, but I've seen how he like interacts with all the other elements, but not madness. So it'll be cool to see what he does different. I adjusted the whirlwind skin effect, and the only reason I'm saying that is because like the dinosaur, like when you poison him, he throws up poison. You know, the guy that's kind of like a not a unicorn, but a centaur. If he does the like where he chains you, if you hit him with I believe it's holy or thunder, he breaks away from it, you know. So the bosses do interact when, or even, what do you call it, the three dogs. If you when he breaks into three and you hit him with holy, he kind of gets like a little debuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like I would love to see what Libra kind of does when you hit him with the madness. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Adjusted the whirlwind effect, visibility, and the relic effect, guardian. Increased duration for the character skill is active. Cool. I don't like guardian. I played him and I just couldn't play him. He uses the shield. I tried doing like the counter guard, the counter thing, and it feels so wonky. It feels like, why would I want to use that kind of mechanic in the game when I can just run in and just hit him 3 times and he's dead, you know? So it just feels like I'm overworking for something when I can just be using something else. But I didn't like the guardian, and he doesn't roll. So for me, the guardian is like, besides his ult, yeah. Fixed a bug where the demon merchant would spawn near the Night's Tide when the demon merchant curse event was encountered. I never had this. Like all the times we got like cursed, he was in a pretty good position and we had enough time. But good, like like what he does is he cuts your HP. I don't know if it's by half or like by 40% or 50 or even 60 or 70, but he does cut your HP by a number, and then you go and find a merchant on your map, and then you pay him and he removes it. Or you can actually kill him and he gives you a buff. I forget the buff because I never killed him. He's too hard, but yeah, just paying him removes it. So that's kind of cool. Like it'll suck if you're playing and he just ends up like near the thing, near the storm, and then the storm closes. Fixed a bug where the damage dealt to some enemies when destroying weak points created by Iron Knight's marking skill was higher or lower than expected. Yes, this has... I just play Iron Knight. Iron Knight is my character. Marking skill was higher. More than anything, this is what happened. You mark them, and everybody's on the boss, and the boss just nukes. He just blows up. And I've seen bosses die in like 5 seconds, 7 seconds, because the mark just cuts. Like, I was playing a game where not only did my mark go off and my bleed went off, and I did 50% damage of the health, a little bit more than 50. So that is crazy that it was a bug. I thought it was just intended. I thought, okay, well, I'm just using him the way he should be using it. He should be used. But after reading this, I'm like, okay, that was probably a bug. And lower than expected. This has happened to me like 4 times. Out of like 1,000 times I've procced the mark, more so. Or so to speak, you know? Like at 1,000 times, it's only happened exactly like 4 times. Where the mark procs, and I'm like, where did the damage go? So the lower than expected happens to me like very, very, very extreme rare. And this happens all the time where the mark just completely blows up. Fix the bug where the lightning damage received from enemies would be nullified when affected by the passive effect Power of the Great Ancient Dragon of the Bolt of Grant. That sounds like a runoff sentence. Fix the bug where the lightning damage received from enemies would be nullified when affected by the passive effect Power of the Great Ancient Dragon of the Bolt of Grandsack's weapons. I like this weapon because it feels useless. I think that's the one where... No, this is a completely different weapon. Never mind. This is different. But cool that they fixed the bug. I was thinking of that weapon where you kind of get catapulted forward and you like dash, but like in a slowish fashion. And I like using that weapon because I just feel dumb. I fixed the bug where the ultimate art gauge was filled more than expected when attacking some enemies. I've never felt this. I'm always on, like especially in boss fights. Like I have one eye on me, I have one eye on the enemy, and my other eye, so to speak, it's right on the skill gauge, and I'm always looking at it like, when is it filled? When is it filled? When is it filled? When is the most opportune moment of using it? So I'm always on it, and I've never actually felt this where my art gauge was filled more. So cool that they fixed it. If it was a problem, I've never seen it. But if some people, hey, cool. Fix the bug where the relic effect. And I'm also kind of curious, like, what does that do? Like, when you use your art, does it deplete everything, or does it give you like a little, okay, you filled it up 110%, so now you get a 10% like after using your ability. That'll be cool to find out, but I guess they fixed it. And they should do that, where you can use your art gauge, like if they put a relic where you can use your art gauge a couple times, like maybe 2 times, and then there's the cooldown and you can just like save charges. That would be really cool. Fix the bug where the relic effect switching weapons adds an affinity attack did not properly reflect the attribute when applied to bows and crossbows. I used to use this a lot. This is the boss relic weapon, but I never had that. It's always displayed everything correctly, or maybe reflect. That's what it's talking about. Reflect the attribute. I never had this. I've had this problem with like normal weapons when you're using like a thunderbolt, a bow with thunder attribute or lightning attribute. Sometimes you hit the boss, or not the boss, just regular enemies, and it didn't proc anything. Like I've never had that with fire. Like if you use fire and you hit somebody, they're like set like on fire for like about 1 second or 2 seconds. But with thunder, it seems like they just brush it off, and sometimes you don't see like the little animation, the little sparks that it does when you hit somebody with thunder. But I've had this with other elements, but never with this, never with the boss relic. Fix the bug with the amount of runes needed to purchase uncommon weapons from merchants incorrectly calculated. Cool. Besides the last merchant, I don't even use them. Fix the bug where the weapons would lose a battle after being revived from near death against a Night Lord or other night bosses. This happened to a friend of mine. And this always happens to me, where if I have the item that revives you and everybody dies during the boss, it wouldn't revive you. So this is cool that they fixed it. I'm guess this was a needed, because I mean, the item that revives you, most of the times you're just gonna proc it when the actual boss. You know, you're not gonna proc it with like it's for me. It's like no, I'm not gonna proc it with just like with just mobs of enemies. So it's cool that they fixed it. It's very, very cool. Fixed a bug in some multiplayer battles against a Night Lord where the camera will not display at the correct angle when not targeting an enemy. I don't. It's weird that they call out multiplayer battles. It's weird that they single that out and not like solo, because I don't play solo. I played solo like maybe a couple times just to do remembrances so that I don't bug other people. But this happens, like I thought it was just part of the game, where the camera is just like trying to catch up to the enemy because the enemy moves so fast. And there's a couple of them, but I've never felt I never felt that was like a bug. I never felt that was bad. But cool that they fixed it. It's weird that they keep calling it a bug. And if you watch my other, like the other patch videos that I made, it's just a bug. This game's again, I'm not being negative about the game. It's just, man, like people are getting hate for just calling it like, yeah, this game's really buggy. Oh, well, that's your, I mean, come on, man. Like this game, let's get it fixed, you know? It's nothing bad saying like, I'm guessing if you're calling, oh, this game is the worst game I've ever played. I'm like, okay, man, calm down. But saying this is a buggy game, like you couldn't even jump to climb obstacles in a game where you have to jump and climb obstacles and get away from the storm, you know? So it's like, come on, man. Fix a bug where lingering characters phantoms did not appear in limb build. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing this is invaders, but they would have called it invaders. So, okay, cool. Added staff information in the game's credit. Cool. Steve-only adjustments. Fixed a bug where the game might freeze momentarily or extend the period of type in some environments. If you mean boss fights, cool. Cool. That's very good. One of the things that they got around was that the graphics change. Like if you're running and there's a couple of enemies and it feels like your game's gonna die, like the graphics change and the enemies turn into like this weird, like almost see-through, and you're not like, your camera's not in them or rotating the camera to like, they go like, you know, some games they, like the terrain goes see-through just so that you can see your character. Like they don't. It's like they go into like this blurry thing, and they go like into like, I've seen some of them drop to like 10 frames per second of movement, even though I'm still moving at I don't know if this game's on 60, but in normal frames, but they're moving like in 10, kind of like they look like picture animation. So if you mean it like in boss fights and not in some environments, like, yeah, cool. Because some bosses just completely destroy your computer just by existing. The version number of this update shown at the lower right corner of the title screen will be as follows: app version 1.013, regulation version 1.014, in PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Versions, regulation files can be downloaded by logging into the server if the regulation version is listed in the lower right. And this I'm not going to read because I already read it. This is going to be the third time and that doesn't change. So cool. Just a little bit. The last thing I want to point out is I'm very excited for 1.02. I was watching a streamer. Well, before talking about the streamer, I'm teaching people how to play Nightreign. And when we defeated the last boss, one of the people I was teaching said, okay, now what? And that hit me because I was like, dude, that's the game. And I was like, yeah, he's right, now what? And I was watching another streamer and he was pretty cool, you know? And I forget his name because he just showed up on recommendations on his live. And he did a challenge run with him and 3 other people, like level 1, did a full clear. and they were all like, okay, now what? And it was like, okay, what do we do? Just a level 1 clear with a level 1 weapon, and we just try and beat the bosses like that. And somebody else said, so what do we do now? We just stand for like 30 minutes and just try not to die in the try not to die in the rain. And I was like, yeah, man, like this game needs more. Like there are people that beat the game and they're like saying, now what? Give me the next thing. Give me that new game plus. Like this game, playing at the first 50 hours, it's great. It's really, really good. But now we're at a point where it's like, okay, now what? Like, give us I joke around with my friends and I'm like, oh, I've never seen this. The game is making me feel something good. But, you know, it's just me yapping. I like the game. I wanted to succeed. But just, I hope it now gives me the what I'm looking for. Cool. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in the other patch notes, I have a playlist on my channel. Again, if you would like to see the patch notes themselves, click down on the description below. And yeah, take care. Have a good one. See you on the next video.